Hi, I'm Ben of Mixup YouTube, doing my review on The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. Now, spoiler alerts, major spoilers. I really like this movie. Now, the first one, it was the first movie I actually saw was my sister. Now, that was a good time. The second movie I saw was just my mom. Like, I was excited to see it was just my sister because this is the first movie. It was the first time I actually saw it with me and my sister. That was a good time. And I really liked the first Hunger Games. And the sequel was really moving. Like, there were some parts that had some sad moments, some parts that had some intense movement, and President still, I hated him. He was the major villain. He was like, oh, yeah. And the third movie, Mockingjay Part 1, now that had some stuff going down. Now, it didn't really have some Hunger Games. Like, a lot of people complained that it didn't really had a lot of Hunger Games moments, but I really liked it. I thought it was heartwarming and moving, and seeing all these characters trying to survive was really moving. And now the Hunger Games Part 2. Oh, now that had a lot of intensity. Now, there was a lot of parts that remind me of the video game Half-Life 2. Yeah, there was parts where they were in the post-apocalyptic city, in the city ruins, and going down in the sewer, find monsters. Oh, those white skinny monsters that look like a mix between the Slender Man and the Xenomorphs from the movie Aliens. That was something. And there was the parts where the guards were shooting them, going, eh! Yeah, that reminds me of the soldiers in Half-Life 2, but yeah, there was a lot of... There was the scene where they were going into the mansion, and because they were evacuating the city and they were going to the mansion, and Katniss and that other guy was putting their hoods on under it, and I was like, oh, what's gonna happen? And they were going through them. The soldiers were lifting up their hoods, looking through them, looking at them, and then they were coming, and the one soldier was this close to removing its hood, and then a lot of people came and they were like, "Arr!" And everything went down after that. And there was a war, and there was this toddler who, when they were marching and going to the mansion, there was this little toddler, and I thought she was gonna go Katniss, but she didn't, thank gosh. And yeah, and when the toddler lost his mom, that made me sad. Now remember, spoiler alert. And at the end, when they were going to the mansion, and where those parachutes was all the things that look like food and supplies, because they were in the first movie, yeah, I thought to myself, imagine there were bombs and they were just gonna explode. And I was like, nah, they wouldn't do that. And then, there were bombs! Whoa! I did, but didn't see that coming, and I was like, wow. And then all the children who were, because they were moving their children first to go in the mansion, and yeah, I thought, yeah, and when the children died, I was like, oh. And then Katniss' sister was there, and she was going to help because she's a nurse, and then kaboom, there was an explosion and she died. And I was like, oh gosh. Yeah, I mean, the whole point of her volunteer as tribute to protect her sister, and now she's dead? That stinks. And, oh, what else? What else? And then, at the end, where she was unconscious, and then she woke up, yeah, I thought, is this the end? Because there was moments where I'm like, is this gonna be the end? Is this almost the end? Is this almost over? But then I was like, no, it just keeps going and going. And the part where Katniss was about to execute President Snow, and he was tied up to a pole, and she were gonna grab her arrow and gonna point, I knew they were gonna do some plot twists. I've seen this before in other movies, TV shows. She was this close, and then she aimed it at that woman. Yeah, she was playing on doing a new Hunger Games and using their children for revenge. But she was like, no. Katniss was like, no, you can't do that. So yeah, Katniss saved the day. And I like when President Snow is laughing and he's bleeding out blood, and then no, sorry, there was no there was all the crowd of people went and they're like, ah! And all the crowd of people went and killed President Snow. That I like. All the audience had their chance with him. And I thought at the end of the part where Katniss, because she was sleeping on the couch and she heard a noise in the kitchen, so she went and it was the cat, her little sister's cat, and she was like, get out, get out, get out, ah! She was throwing stuff at it, and then she went to it, and then she started to cry because she misses her sister. So then she picks the cat up, and it started to purr, and I thought that was sweet. And I went, aw, and my sister was shushing me in the movie theater, and I think my sister was shushing me in the movie theater, and someone in the audience I think was shushing me. And what I went off for was Katniss was climbing into bed with Peeta, and I thought that was sweet. And they had children at the end, and I said to my sister, what if they changed the ending in the book? And she's like, I hope not. The ending was done really well. And then the ending was like the book, because I never read the books, but my sister has, and she's a good guide for information. And I really like the ending. Like she had a baby and she got 2 kids with Peeta. That was sweet. Well, that's my review on The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. Take care and subscribe, and you'll see some new videos.